Hello, boys and girls. I am so glad that we finally get to be together. I know that you've been at home with the Connect program here at Westminster. And even though I would have loved to have had you live with your other classmates, and I'm sure that was kind of a bummer when they disconnected from you when I came in there, it is kind of nice for the first few weeks for me to just be able to talk directly just to you and not have to worry about you hearing me or seeing what we're doing. And then the nice thing is I can give you a few extra projects that other kids don't have time to do because we have to like choppity chop, go quick, whereas you might have more time at home. Plus you can always pause the video so that you can take a little bit more time on something, or you can reverse it a little bit if you want to see something again. So I'm really excited. My name is Mrs. Heetderks. I'm actually married to Mr. Heetderks, who teaches over at the Nature Center. So if you hear both of those names, that's why. He's my husband. We have 2 daughters, and they're both in college, which is kind of exciting. And you are always going to have an art lesson with me. So the first lesson that we usually have is going over the theme that we have for the school year. And this year, our verse is, if God is for us, who can be against us? And what when we thought about that verse, what we thought about was it just is basically telling us that God is for us. He is our biggest fan. He is like going, go, go, go. And so because of that, he is going to want to protect us however he can. Now, Miss Brigham in chapel always loves to compare our theme with an animal. So last year she had a sloth, and this year she's having a lion. And the reason she was thinking of that is, one, kids usually say, oh, because the lion's king of the jungle. Well, yeah, that's true. But also because a lion is fiercely protective of its cub. If you look at this picture here, you're going to see that that lion is looking at something or someone that is about to attack its cub. And that lion is going to use every bit of force and strength in its body. He's going to use his claws and his teeth and all of his strength to eviscerate anything that's going to hurt his cub. But what's interesting is that that same lion, if he is just with his cub, that cub can crawl around on his head, and that lion's whole body is so relaxed. And when that cub kind of goes down, that lion is going to take those same little claws that he used to attack something. He's going to be like, oh, tickle, tickle, tickle. Oh, and then the cub's going to go, can you scratch my back? And he's going to be like, oh yeah, that's all right. Perfect, just right there. So what's so interesting about a lion is that he both protects us through his might, but he also protects us with his love. And we are the same way with our relationship with God, which is why we are going to, because this is art, we are going to be making a gigantic lion, and we're going to be making it out of puzzle pieces, one of which you are going to be making for me today. And this is what the puzzle is going to end up looking like. And here you can even see how the real snout of the lion, with the model that I was showing you, is actually quite small. But the one that I'm making, you can see here, is gigantic. And on it are all these puzzle pieces that the kids have been making for me this week, where they have been writing down 2 things. The first thing they've been writing down on their puzzle piece is something that maybe they've been a little bit worried about. For example, some kids have been worried, about maybe someone getting sick. And I know, like for myself, my parents live out in California, and they happen to live in an area where there's a lot of the virus going around right now. And so sometimes I sit and I worry about them. Some kids have said that they're a little worried about a gecko crawling into their bed. Whereas someone else is saying, I'm kind of worried that my dog's going to run away. And it is okay to have worries. But what we don't want to do is just get stuck with that worry. where we keep worrying and worrying and worrying and worrying and worrying about it. We want to be able to give it to God. And that's why we're talking about God protecting us. Because all of those things that we might worry about, it doesn't help one bit to worry. What can help is to pray to God, to say, God, will you protect me? God, will you love my parents? God, will you please keep me safe? When we start to think of all the things that God does and how powerful he is and how he's more powerful than anything, even the coronavirus, that can bring us a lot of peace. So in the bag that I gave you, you're probably going to find a yellow triangle in there and a couple markers, and I think one crayon I gave you. I want you to take one of those markers, and if you would be willing, I would like for you to just write down the word of something that you're maybe a little concerned about. So I already shared that I was worried about my parents getting sick, but what you can do is you can write down anything you want. It doesn't have to be what I'm writing because these are things that I'm worried about. And it doesn't have to be, oh my goodness, I'm just so worried, but just something that's on your mind. Some kids, like I said, have said that they've been worried about their grandparents or maybe someone who's away on a trip or about friends or going back to school or, feeling comfortable when they go back to school, things like that. So I'd like you to spend a little bit of time writing down a few of those words, and then I'll come back to you. So now that you're back, let's get to the good part. You've written down a few words of things you might be worried about, but now we're going to think about words that describe God. We already said that God is like a lion, that he protects us. So I would like for you to write right over your worry word, which in this case is the word school, if someone was worried about that. And I want you to write right on top of it the word protect. And protect is spelled Protect. And then I want you to continue to think about words that you describe God with, and things that you pray for, that maybe God would keep you safe. Or maybe there would be something else that you think of when you think of God, or something that you pray for. Maybe instead of saying that God keeps you safe, and you write that right on top of whatever one of your worry words was, then maybe you think of, oh God, will you please love me? Will you please care for me? Because we know that God does that. God is all powerful. God can do anything. So we're just writing these words on top to remind ourselves that we don't need to worry about these things. So when you're done, you are going to draw along the side using your crayon, and I just want you to color it in. You might think that it starts to look a little bit like a hot mess, but that's okay. The whole point of this activity was for you to take your puzzle piece and just work out a few of your thoughts. When you're finished with your puzzle piece, you can just set it aside. I'm going to be teaching you right now about some shapes, and then you're going to be creating another piece of art using it. Making has all straight sides. And I want to show you something about that because I'd like for you to learn about this mathematical concept because I've kind of been enjoying working with what are called polygons. So let's talk about polygons. If you have a straight line and you want to make a polygon, well, you're going to need a few more lines. And then if you put them together, well, yeah, we technically call that a triangle, but it's a polygon because it has a shape, it's a shape, and it has all straight lines. Now, is this a polygon? If you said yes, you are absolutely correct because all of the sides are straight. It's okay if they're bent like that because it's really not bent. It's one straight line meeting up with another straight line. Now let's look at another. Now these are some polygons that actually have names that we know about. But let's look at this shape. Is this shape a polygon? If you said yes, you're probably looking at these straight lines right here. But if you said no, you're exactly right because this is a curved line. And I'm so sorry, Mr. Shape, you are very adorable, but if you don't have all straight lines, you're not a polygon. Boo-hoo. Next, is this a polygon? If you said yes, bravo! Give yourself a pat on the back. Those are all straight lines coming together to make a shape. Is this a polygon? Do you see this line right here? Bah. Sorry, dude. You are not a polygon. You have a wavy line. Is this a polygon? If you said yes, good job. Those are all straight sides making up that very crazy shape. What about this? Yes. And what about this? Definitely not. So many curvy lines. Now, boys and girls, you're going to see polygons everywhere in the world because we love polygons. If you look around your room right now, you're probably going to see that your door is a polygon, and your cupboard is a polygon, and your bed is probably a polygon. We really, really like polygons, we people. But here we even see bees making polygons when they make their honeycomb. So the pyramid in Egypt is a triangle, which is a polygon. Buildings are usually very rectangular polygons. And here our sweet bees were making hexagons. Who knew? Now we do a lot with polygons. We can make pictures out of polygons. Here's someone else who made an elephant using all polygons. This person is an artist who paints on buildings. He always asks for permission. His name is Anatomics, and he makes these really, really big paintings using polygons to make pictures. Here's one a little bit more close up. Now, if you've ever used polygon blocks, you'll know that you can make designs with polygons. If you've ever folded a piece of paper or done origami, those are polygons. And if you've ever even played Minecraft, you will see that everything in Minecraft is a polygon. It doesn't even bother you that the sun is a square. You just go, that's Minecraft. Well, yeah, it's Minecraft, but do you notice that everything has a straight line? You could pause this video and look for a curved line, and you're going to have to look for a really, really long time. Because even though this wing looks like it's curved, it's not. It's made up of polygons. Pretty cool. Here's a movie that for the animation, they used polygons to make the trees. Trees don't really look like that. But we, because we know they're being artistic, say, no big deal. It's just polygons. So boys and girls, every week we'll be working together to make sure you have your supplies. In the bag that I gave you a black pen. I think I gave you two and a pencil. But if you can't find it, that's fine. But right now, if you like, you can take out that black pen or the pencil, whatever you like, and you're going to need a piece of white paper. So we're going to be using our polygons that we've been learning about, and we're going to draw a lion. You're going to start by making a rectangle, which is a polygon, all straight sides right in the middle of your paper. And then the next thing we're going to do is to make another polygon, but this time it's a triangle. You're going to start from the corner and go all the way to the top and all the way down, almost like an upside down V or a mountain. If you ever need to pause what we're doing, that's fine. So now I'm doing actually like a V, but kind of shallow right down there on the bottom. And some of you may be realizing that I actually just had you draw the nose of our lion. Now we're going to start on our eyes. We're going to do one triangle on one side and another triangle on the other. Once you've got that done, we're going to be moving on. I want to give you a minute to catch up. And now the most difficult part of the day, that tiny little line underneath the nose. And now we're going to begin on the mouth. You're going to be making an upside down V, just like that. And then, if you can only imagine, we need the bottom lip of our lion. So you're going to go meet up those lines you had there and do that. And again, if it goes too fast, just pause it and go back. I'll be here. Now, we have to start working on our lion's forehead. So in just a moment, right on the top of that polygon called the rectangle that we started off with, you're going to do a line there and there. If you get it at a different angle or it's not in the same spot, please don't erase and erase and erase. It's all going to work out just fine. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to go towards the bottom of the eye and you're going to make two lines going out to the sides. Things are about to get interesting. We're going to be drawing a line across the top of the lion to make the top of his head. So we're going to close that off with a straight line, making a polygon right above his forehead. And then you're going to make a line on this side and on that side, so that our lion's forehead is completely finished. Lastly, we need to now make the sides of his face. We're going to go from that line all the way down, making the longest line in America, going all the way down to the mouth. And now we have our lion's face. You can see the two eyes and the nose and the mouth. But this is not a female lion. This is a male lion, and we need to make a mane. Now you can make any style mane that you like, but it's basically where you're drawing straight lines up, over and down, up, over and down, all the way around. Some kids have made them long and skinny. Some people have made them short and squatty. Some people have made really big ones. Some have made super tight. You get the idea. And you can even look at the little boy in kindergarten who made the one that you can see in the picture. He actually kind of did a double layer and made triangles and different designs on the mane. That is completely up to you and your artistic sense of what you would like to do with your lion. In just a moment, you can use markers, crayons, colored pencils, I don't care, whatever you like to color in your lion. You can use kind of lion-like colors, oranges and reds and yellows, or you can go crazy and use all the colors in there. It's totally up to you. Some kids decided that they wanted to put lion-like colors on the face and then in the background do something different. All up to you, my friends. So today you have now made a puzzle piece for me, and I thank you for that. And you have now drawn a lion. So we've had a pretty good day. And you still have time now to be able to finish up that lion and to start to color it in. I think you're going to have a really great time. And remember, as you're working, to just remember the lesson of the day as far as this whole project of talking about polygons, being that we're making a lion face for the lobby using your puzzle piece, for the lion, the big paper lion, the big puzzle piece you made to remind us that God protects us. And then with this project, you are now coloring and drawing a lion that is also made out of polygons, just like the paper one. And again, it can remind you that God protects you. So I'm going to let you go now. I love you very, very much. I can't wait to connect with you again next week. And I will be letting you know, or your parents know, how you can get your finished projects to me. Make sure you write your name on the back. I love you very, very much. Goodbye.